now that there's been a lot of big off-season moves, I think it's a safe time to now pick our winners and losers of the NHL offseason. Let's start with the winners. Give it to me. Who you got?
Bruins.
Yeah, I don't hate
Get
it.
Elias Lindholm. You get Zadorov, so you have a great physical big blue liner, and again, he can slot it next to Hampus Lindholm.
Facts.
And then, of course, you got Elias Lindholm, no relation, as your top line center, or he could slot in playing with Zacha and Pasta on the top line. That's a lot of speed. Or you have you go Brad Marchand on the left wing, and then you can go Lindholm, Zacha, Coyle straight down the middle. It adds depth. It adds versatility. Is he a bona fide 1C? No. Can he be one with David Pastrnak playing next to him? Certainly. I wouldn't be surprised at all. The Bruins desperately needed scoring, and they got that. They got a dynamic playmaker, someone who played for, this is his third team in just 2 seasons he's playing for between the Flames, the Canucks, and now the Bruins.
Yep.
But 200-foot center, can score, and he got the best available free agent at the position of need. Very young.
Love
we'll
it.
have him through year 38. I know it's long. I know it's a lot of money. I don't care.
Who
You
cares?
needed scoring, and you need to capitalize on David Pastrnak and Jeremy Swayman's prime, and they do so with this.
Okay, you bringing up Swayman is why I didn't go winners yet for the Bruins.
Because it ain't done.
I am waiting on that shoe to drop. When that shoe drops, I think they have every single case to be made that they won the offseason. I really do. But that's a big shoe that I need to drop before I can go there. I'm going to go the Nashville Predators instead.
Good call.
Look at what they did. This was a playoff team last season who eventually lost to Vancouver that we saw was the truth. But they said, okay, we barely got into the playoffs. We lost to a better Vancouver team. We're not messing around. Let's load up with vet guys who know how to win this thing. And I'm talking about Stanley Cups. They get Steven Stamkos. They get Jonathan Marchessault. I love what the Preds did this offseason. That's a winner for me until the Bruins sign Sway. Then I'm on your side of things, George. Let's go to the losers because, look, one team I believed in last year, I thought they would have a chance to get to the Stanley Cup Finals. It was finally their time after knocking on the door for a long time. And I love the move that the Carolina Hurricanes did, adding Jake Gensel at the deadline. I thought they were going for it. They also added Kuzi. I mean, they had a lot of guys come in there, and they were just going to try to roll the dice. For years, Carolina could not win Stanley Cup playoff games on the road. So I thought by sort of rolling the dice, moving and shaking, bringing in these top-notch players, that would be their shot. And they damn near did it. They beat the Islanders, and then they went 7 with the Rangers, and they just couldn't get it done. Now it feels like Carolina's punting. It feels like they're like, you know what? Jake Gensel was a rental.
And they gave
We're not
up a
going to
lot
keep
for
him.
Gensel.
They did. And allegedly all the stories were that Gensel didn't want to be there. But say what you want. They couldn't figure it out with him. They lost some key pieces. I'm going to tell you, I almost think the air is out of their sail. And their championship window could be closed. I'm going to go Carolina Hurricanes here as my losers. They did not do enough to remain at the top in the East, at least that top cluster of teams.
I went with the same approach on this one. I needed more ads. I go with the New York Rangers.
Wow.
There were the rumors of trading Trouba. Nothing happened there. You needed to add because obviously you were talented enough to win the President's Trophy, but Keandre Miller, nice piece. He's maxed out. You know what he is. You needed to add scoring. You needed to add toughness. And you're about to have to pay Igor Shesterkin a lot of money every year, and that's going to handcuff a team. So same thing as you're waiting the shoe to drop on Swayman. He's going to get paid. I believe it will be a good deal on both ends. He'll get paid, but it'll still be helpful to build out the team.
Friendly.
Exactly. Yeah. Shesterkin wants to get the bag. And look at the two teams that are in Stanley Cup Finals. It was Stuart Skinner and Sergei Bobrovsky. It's not about being a great goalie. It's about having 6 goalies on the ice and a team that knows how to play.
I am a little bit shocked that you have the Rangers as losers, which kind of brings me into my next question. If we're reseeding the Eastern Conference in the NHL, because, I know the Rangers were at the top of the heap last season. I do not believe that's going to happen. I am still, and I said this now for 2 years running, I believe we are in the Panthers era right now. And 2 years ago when I told all the Bruins fans, don't be cocky. Don't sleep on this Panthers team. Everyone called me nuts, and then the Panthers went out and knocked the Bruins off in the first round. I'm still not over that, by the way. Then the very next season. So, by the way, let me stay there. They go to the Stanley Cup final and lose.
Depleted, banged up.
But the very next season, they win this one. They win the finals, we see. I think the Panthers, I'm still going number one in the Eastern Conference. I just believe they're the best team, and they very well could repeat, by the way. Then I'll go Rangers, too. I hear you on them not making enough splashy moves.
But they can make some at the deadline.
But I tell you what, that team just on paper still is one of the best in the East. So I'll go Rangers there. I just think their mentals, when they get in the postseason, they got to figure something out because they're not able to get it done yet. I'll go Bruins 3 for everything you said. This has been a great offseason, but you got to get Sway under contract to make it all the way great. And then I'm going Maple Leafs 4. They're basically just running it back. And you know what? It'll be just fine in the regular season. If you told me the Maple Leafs were the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, I wouldn't be shocked at all. We just know what's going to happen when it counts. And you put all the chips on the table, and it all counts in the postseason. We know what they're going to do. Choke. That's what they're going to do. So I'll go Maple Leafs 4.
I like that. My top 4 are very different than yours.
Okay.
My 1 seed, I have the Lightning. You
I don't like
added
that.
Jake Gensel.
Yeah.
You have Hedman. Gensel sliding in with that top line and a healthy Vasilevsky from the jump.
Love it.
Go Lightning 1. Bruins as my 2 seed.
Okay.
The Elias Lindholm effect. Jeremy Swayman now taking over, becoming the man. You have Korpisalo to back him up, but it is Jeremy Swayman's net. I go Panthers 3. The only reason I don't have them being the 1 seed, because the Panthers are going to do what they've done. Coast through the regular season and make sure they put it all together when it really matters, and that's the playoffs. If they went back-to-back and won, I'd be surprised at Sergei Bobrovsky, but I wouldn't be shocked because they play their style of hockey. But I don't expect them to go out there and be the 1 seed. And then 4 seed up at the Rangers. Long fall from that 1. But
wow.
I can see a big shake-up. This is a team running it back, but I need to see more from Mika Zibanejad. You could tell I'm speaking from the perspective of a hurt Rangers fan.
I can tell.
I just want them to show up, the blue shirts, and make noise happen in the playoffs.
It almost seems mental to me at this point for them in the postseason. I thought the last postseason it was all perfectly laid out for them. They were just not able to get it done. I want to go back. I like your Lightning pick. I could see the Lightning in the top 4 or 5 in the East, which is essentially what they were last year. They were the 5 seed, if I'm not mistaken. But the reason I'm not going as high on the Lightning as you, and I'm going higher on the Maple Leafs, is just because the Maple Leafs are a regular season team. And the Lightning, even with the players that they lost, and you mentioned their additions, they're still the same team. They're an old veteran team who knows how to get it done when it counts in the postseason. So just like you brought up with the Panthers, this is a team that's not going to put a ton of stock in the regular season. They just know they need to get in, and then they know how to handle their business. That's where I put the Lightning as well. That's why I actually believe in the Maple Leafs, because they're running it back as is. We've already seen that offense do great things. They're going to put up numbers. They're going to kick a lot of regular season butt and then choke it away in the postseason. It's what they do.
You get to the first round in Toronto.
Yeah.
It's the same old song and
It's what
dance.
they do. Even if they win the first round, they ain't going nowhere after that.
My buddy, he went to Quinnipiac. A bunch of Canadians go to school there. And a bunch of his friends are from Canada. He's like, oh, we got to go up to Toronto for like a playoff series. It'd be sick to see like an Easter Conference. And they were like, no.
Yeah, no.
We don't win.
Go to a regular season game.
We don't win.
You ever been to Toronto?
Yeah, I love it. Awesome
I hear
city.
it's a great
You've never
city.
been?
No, I've never been.
You'd love it.
I've never been.
I did the trifecta Niagara, Toronto to Montreal. Niagara, very expensive. Toronto's expensive, but at least it's a big city. Then you get to Montreal, and it's all the French Canadians that hate us, and they're real jerks. But the food's good. Go to Toronto and go check out Tim Hortons. Not as good as Dunkin'.
Really?
But Tim Hortons gets the job done. I'm a big It's just everything's small. I don't know. Something about
the little portions.
It's a European.
Oh, I hate that.
Try
so
Tim Hortons
much.
and get back to me. Just not in the Toronto airport.
I'm a fat American. I'm not interested in all that